So now I see why the lay reflections usually precede the minister's talk. On the recommendation of the transition team, the Board of Trustees has decided to seek a contract minister with a developmental emphasis for next June, hopefully. And some of you will ask why we aren't looking for a settled minister yet, fully 3 years after our last settled minister. Well, we've made some progress in the transition work, but there's still work to do and questions to address. Where do we want to go as a community? Do we want to be more sustainable, more multi-generational, more engaged with the larger community, more welcoming? And are there things we want less of? We still need to identify our mission and a shared sense of our future as a community. Finding a long-term minister with a developmental emphasis will help us do the work to build that future. And since we're planning to hire a minister with an expected tenure of 5 years, who will eventually be callable as our settled minister if we choose, this isn't a short-term proposition. So then the next question is, well, what is a developmental minister? Developmental ministers have experience, competence, and/or interest in assisting congregations to make structural or cultural changes in order to thrive. A developmental minister is appropriate when a congregation has identified problems and wants to work on them. Problems like ministerial turnover, volunteer burnout, membership declines, conflicts, failure to realize an ostensible mission. I know this sounds remedial. It's not really something for those of us who took our algebra in the 8th grade. But this is not actually remedial because we don't know in advance where we're supposed to be going. There's no curriculum here ready to hand. So the work we do with a long-term developmental minister is transformational, a change of shape, a change we've already begun and that we hope to continue. We are what we do, but we have to make it up as we go along. For me, recognizing my freedom and my responsibility to make it up as I go is an important part of my path. And after all, growth and transformation is what we UUs aspire to. We've identified various problems that are holding us back from who we might become, and we want to work on those problems with intention, focus, and the help of a minister who knows from the get-go that this is our focus and who can assist us with that work. But transformation is not just solving problems. One of my insightful friends, who is very good at problem identification, is always telling me where we've gone wrong and where we should not go in the future. So I have to remind him that it takes more than looking back at our misdirections to find our path forward. We can't change our future. We can't choose our future direction through some process of elimination. Now, we should look at our past problems patiently, analytically. But to find our path, we must also make new choices, which requires more than understanding of our problems. We must also bring our wills to bear, creatively, and since we aspire to community, collectively. Making choices can be scary. What do we really want? What must we forego? Where should we focus that scarcest of all resources, our attention? But besides the scary part, I hope we can also appreciate that making choices for our future is an opportunity to be embraced joyfully, not just another problem to be analyzed and remediated. So we're going to do a little exercise after the service today to help a search committee, an eventual search committee, identify the goals that we might choose to work on with a new minister. We may start with a list of problems, but we'll be trying to beat these issues into aspirations for the future. I hope you stay for it. This is your community, and it's your choice. Thanks.